뉴욕 타임즈입니다. Doctors skeptical about AI in patient care. Physicians find big gaps in research on programs and regulators' diligence. We are going to have some confidence that these tools work. Our constant companions and recorders of our history. The genes in human lives offer insight into the ways taken by traveling hosts. Birds won't be named for racist or anybody else. North American ornithologists and amateur birders alike have long wrestled with the historical nature of bird names bestowed by early collectors. Fraudsters keep getting a free pass. The U.S. Justice Department has been losing ground in the fight against financial fraud for years. America hugged Israel close. Maybe it shouldn't have. Perhaps Mr. Biden's the bear hug will give him political cover to reinvigorate the pursuit of a two-state solution last attempted by U.S. diplomats in the Obama administration. A new effort to fight fake reviews online. Experts doubt the campaign by regulators and tech companies will succeed. U.S. regulators are focused on pursuing businesses that buy or sell online reviews. Small state foreshadows looming U.S. problems. There were similar shortages across the country in 2021 and 2022 as demand for both goods and workers surged after pandemic lockdowns. In remote work, someone see a mommy track. Flexible arrangement help mothers but could make it harder to advance. The labor force participation rate among women of prime working age is at an all-time high. ExxonMobil plans to produce the lithium in Arkansas, a sign the company's hedging its bet on fossil fuel. A plan to help Native Americans becomes a nightmare. Arizona spent $1 billion for addiction treatment, much of it fraudulent. State officials said the fund for Native American treatment amounted to a virtually unguarded pool of money. Two young Democrats at odds over Israel and the party's future. Rising stars have staked sharply divergent position in a key political debate. What you are seeing here is really a question of a vision for the future of the Democratic Party. This war did not start a month ago. For Palestinians, systematic violence is nothing new. It dates back to the Nakba. We need to be more honest, nuanced, and comprehensive about the recent decades of history in Gaza, Israel, and the West Bank. No, immigrants aren't poisoning the U.S. Despite what Donald Trump says, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Very few economists would agree to the extent that there's anything beyond the raw xenophobia behind Trumpist hostility to foreign workers. It seems to be the view that America has a limited number of jobs to offer and that immigrants take those jobs away from the native born. In reality, however, except that during recession, the number of jobs, hence the economy's growth, is limited by the available workforce rather than the other way around. A new efforts to fight fake reviews online. Experts doubt the campaign by regulators and the tech companies will succeed. U.S. regulators are focused on pursuing businesses that buy or sell online reviews. Small state foreshadows a looming U.S. problem. It seems to be happening slowly enough that we are not seeing it as a crisis, said Diana Elliott, Vice President for U.S. Programs at the Population Reference Bureau, a nonprofit research organization. Is happening in slow motion. Sometimes the best YouTube is less at YouTube. YouTube reminds teenagers when it's time to take a break from YouTube, regardless of whether they are using YouTube to watch long or short-term video. They will get a take a break notification every 75 minutes and a special bedtime reminder at 10 p.m. At home, she spread the grim views on the U.S. As the Mr. C misread President Biden in California, the question of how the two powers will manage their rivalry hangs over their relationship. Washington and Beijing set a low bar for meeting. At summit in California, Biden and Xi will try to diffuse a year of tension. The two leaders might agree to resume military-to-military communication. Join the journey at Busan 2030, World Expo 2030, Busan, Korea. Busan is ready. Amazing Busan. Her dreams of a poetic finish undergo Ori. Mr. Rapinoe is robbed of the perfect ending by an injury in the final of the game. It's just been such an honor to be able to share the field with her, so I wish we could have gotten it done today. She's amazing. One foot in the home country. Scattered across Europe, Ukrainian refugees return for family or medical care. One doctor spoke of a patient who traveled from Italy to get nothing more than a cortisone injection in the hip. UK leader choose link to troubled past. David Cameron brings political baggage to role of foreign secretary. Few are more closely identified with Brexit than Mr. Cameron. A big screen salute to French cuisine. Critics Notebook. The Taste of Things is the latest movie to savor a national tradition. The French devotion to the culinary arts is a bit of an on-screen cliché, and Hollywood films like Ratatouille and The Chocolat, the latter also starring the Pinochet, made big money in the United States, but fared far less well in France, have relied on stereotypically French setting, like a rustic village and the Parisian bistro, to communicate the lesson about food's revolutionary and unifying power. People who live in glassed houses. The vibes go further up after a contentious TV interview in which the reporter asked about Whitney's parents, notorious local slum lords. They turned the sky green and yellow. After the review, an exhibition shows how two leading Fauve painters liberated color from reality. The Fauves also freed artists from the regular brushstroke of their post-impressionist predecessors like the Sauret and the Cézanne. Had a mix of propaganda and paranoia. Book the review. It doesn't matter if a story is true, as the writes. What matters is that people believe it. There is no star, a story about collection. Why does Patek Philippe have so many collections? Because while each collection has a different character, each one allows us to innovate and to express ourselves. Inspired by Curtis Lutz for her larger brand of watches, Leila used the ethnic motifs and the colors and places of her home region in Turkey. An anniversary auction. Art Courier is celebrating 150 years of Piaget by offering 50 vintage and modern watches and pieces of jewelry. Talking timepieces on TikTok. Mike has gained hundreds of thousands of followers with his watch videos. At home, she spread a grim view of the U.S. Chinese leaders meeting with Biden would set tone for rivals' future dealing. When President Xi of China made his first state visit to the United States in 2015, he wrapped his demand for respect in reassurance. He quoted tech executives while defending China's internet control. He denied that China was militarizing the disputed South China Sea while asserting maritime claims there. He spoke hopefully of a new model for greater power relation in which Beijing and Washington could exist peacefully as the equals. With Israel, America is losing control. President Biden shows he has not learned from past mistakes. Since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, President Biden has presented himself as a statesman humbled and enlightened by his own country's misstep after the attack of September 11, 2001. While you feel that rage, he advised the Israelis, don't be consumed by it. We are suffering, they are suffering. A Palestinian tour guide and an Israeli settler search for answers in the occupied West Bank. And it's only going to get worse, he added. The Crown takes on Princess Diana's death. Final season spotlight, one of the most emotional periods in British history. The images are joltingly familiar, even after all these years. But the new season, which began a year after Diana had divorced Prince Charles, and that ends with Charles' wedding to his longtime girlfriend, Camilla Parker, the burlesque Olivia Williams in 2005. 8 years later, it deepened the scene entirely. Fear runs indiscriminately through West Bank. Abu used to participate in grassroots peace efforts and also wonders if his old attitudes is now out of date. The Crown enters its most emotional era yet. As always in The Crown, there is an underlying tension not only between what might be real and what might be imagined, but also how that could color the public's perception of the truth. Where you can go by cable car to the Colosseum. Vietnam is in the middle of a rapid increase in transportation, much of it driven by over-the-top developments featuring giant Buddhas and pseudo-European enclaves. On this bright March afternoon, hundreds of colorful wooden fishing boats are below as they sail toward Hon Tom Island, traveling 8 kilometers.